Hi Katie, how are you? Katie, today we learn how can I write the alphabet from A to Z, okay? Okay, the first letter is letter A, sound A. Letter A, sound A. How can I write letter A, sound A? Already we have 4 lines, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have 4 lines. Okay, how can I write in this line? Okay, letter A sound A. From line number 1 to line number 3, make a standing line down, down, down. Yes, okay, and standing line down, left again, and make a sleepy line on line number 2. Okay, this is the uppercase of sound A. Uppercase of sound A. Okay, the lowercase of sound A, how can I write it? Okay, between 2 line number 2 and line number 3, make a semicircle up and make a small tail. Okay, make a semicircle up and make a small tail. This is the upper and lower case of sound A. Okay, after sound A, sound B. Sound B. How can I write sound B? Okay. The big dot on line number 1, standing line down to line number 3, make a semicircle on line number 2 and 3, between line number 2 and 3, between number 1 and 2, and another semicircle between 2 and 3. Okay, Katie? This is upper case of sound B. The lower case of sound B, this is the same, from line number 1 to line number 3, standing line down, but make a semicircle between 2 line number 2 and line number 3, okay? Okay, this is the P sound, the uppercase and the lowercase of P sound. Okay, KG, after letter B, letter C, sound of C, K, sound of C, K. Okay, how can I write letter C? Okay, between 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, make a half circle like this, okay? This is the upper case of sound K and the lower case of sound K, that is the same but between line number 2 and line number 3 like this, okay? This is K sound, K. Okay, after letter C, letter D, sound of D, da. How can I write letter da? Okay, from line number 1 to line number 3, make a standing line down, 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 okay? And make a half circle. This is the upper case of sound d. The lower case of sound d. From line number 1 another to line number 3, down, 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 and make a semicircle in the right. Yes, I'm sorry, in the left, okay, and make a small tail. This is the lower case of sound d, okay, A, B, C, D, after D, E, sound of E, sound of E, How can I write sound So big dot on line number 1, down, 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 down to line number 3 and make a sleepy line on line number 1, make a sleepy line on line number 2 and make another sleepy line on line number 3. Make 3 sleepy line. Oh, so sleepy, letter A, so sleepy. Okay, this is the upper case of sound the lower case of sound Between line number 2 and line number 3, make a sleepy line in the middle, okay? Turn round, 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 round to make baby okay? This is the lower case of sound A, B, C, D, E, after E, F, okay? Sound of F, okay? How can I write sound F? On line number 1, make a sleepy line and standing line down, 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 and make a sleepy line again on line number 2. Like E, F like E. Yes, but I hide this letter, this line, okay? Okay, this is the upper case of letter F. the lowercase, the baby case. How can I write it? Curve line down to line number 3 and make a sleepy line on line number 2. This is sound, okay? A, B, C, D, E, F. After F, letter G, sound of G, G. Okay, sound of G is G, like goat, girl, yes? Okay, how can I write G sound? Okay, from line number 1 to line number 3, okay, KG? Make a half circle like C and up again to line number 2 and make a sleepy line. This is the uppercase of sound G. The lower case of sound G. The baby case of lower. Oh, I'm sorry. It's baby case of sound G. Okay. Make a circle between line number 2 and line number 3 like this. Make a circle up and down again to line number 4 and make a curve. Okay. This is G sound. G. Okay. After letter G, letter H. Sound of H. Letter H sound. Okay, how can I write sound? Okay, from line number 1 to line number 3, make a standing line down. Okay, and another standing line down. Okay, and make a sleepy line on line number 2. Standing line down again, and sleepy line on line number 2. Okay, this is the upper case of sound, the lower case of sound. From line number 1 to line number 3 again, down, make a curve line down, like this, from 1 to 3, okay? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. After H, I, sound of I, E, sound of I, E. How can I write the upper case of letter I, sound E? Okay, from line number 1 to line number 3 again. Down, and make a sleepy line on line number 1 and make a sleepy line again on line number 3. This is the upper case of sound E. Okay, the lower case of sound E. From line number 2 to line number 3, down, and make a dot. Just enough. Okay. After I, letter J, hide letter D in the J, okay? J, how can I write the letter J? Sound J, okay? From line number 1 to line number 3, make a down, and make a curve and sleepy line on line number 1. This is the upper case of sound J. The lower case of sound J, from line number 2 to line number 4, okay? Down, and make a curve and put a dot. This is the J, capital, J small, the upper case of letter J, and this is the lower case of letter J, sound J, okay? After letter J, letter K, sound of K, this is K, and this is K, strong C, and K, okay? How can I write the K sound? From line number 1 to line number 3, down, make a straight line, make a standing line down, okay? In the line, on line number 2, make a slanting line up and slanting line down. This is upper case of letter K, okay? How can I write the lower case of letter K? From line number 1 another to line number 3, make a standing line down, okay? Between line number 2 and line number 3, standing line down, standing line up, standing line down like this. This is the upper case of sound K, sound K, and this is the lower case of sound K. Okay, after letter K, letter L. Letter L. Sound of L, sound of L. Okay, how can I write L? Okay, from line number 1 to line number 3, down, and sleepy line on line number 3. Okay, this is the upper case of sound L. The lower case of sound L, just from line number 1 to line number 3, down, 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 make a standing line down, and enough. Okay, after letter L, letter M. M, sound of M, sound of M, okay, how can I write letter M? Okay, from line number 1 to line number 3, standing line up, standing line down, standing line up again, standing line down again. This is the M. Sound, upper case of sound, Okay, how can I write the lower case of sound, Okay, from line number 2 to line number 3, make a standing line down, make a curved line down, and make a curved line down again. Okay, this is okay, after letter M, letter okay, how can I write sound? Vibration here, yes, sound. Okay, from line number 3 to line number 1, up, standing line down, standing line up again. Okay, standing line up, standing line down, and standing line up again. This is the upper case of sound. The lower case of sound. From line number 2 to line number 3, down, 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 and make a curved line down. That's it. Okay. Sound. Okay. After letter N, letter O. Sound O. Okay, how can I write like this? Circle? No. Oval? Yes. Okay, like oval. Okay, how can I write the upper case of letter O? From line number 1 to line number 3, make a small oval. Yes, okay. From line number 1 to line number 3. The lower case of sound O, the same, but between line number 2 and line number 3. Okay? Round, 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 round. Just oval. Oval. Okay? Okay. After letter O, letter P. P, not B. No. P. P. Sound of P. P. Okay? How can I write sound? P. The big dot on line number 1, down, down, down to line number 3, and make a semicircle line between line number 1 and line number 2. This is the upper case of sound P. Okay, the lower case of sound P. Between line number 2 to line number 4. Okay, down, down, down. Make a standing line down and make a semicircle between line number 2 and line number 3. This is P. Okay, after P, O, P, Q. Q. What's the meaning of Q? Okay, the sound of Q, qua. Okay, how can I write Q? How can I write Q, letter Q? The upper case of letter Q, that's the same O, yes, and make a sleepy slanting line. Yes, this is the O, and standing line down. Q, sound of Q, qua. Okay, this is the upper case of qua. The lower case, make a circle up, down again to line number 4, and then make a standing line up. Qua. Okay, after letter Q, letter R. Sound of R, sound of R. Okay, how can I write letter R? Okay, from line number 1 to line number 3, down, down, down. Make a semicircle in line between line number 2 and between number 1 and 2, and make a slanting line down between number 2 and 3. Okay, this is the upper case of letter R. The lower case of letter R, the PP case of letter R, between line number 2 and line number 3. Make it down, 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 and make a curve. Okay, down, curve, down, curve. Okay, after letter R, letter S. S. Okay, how can I write letter S? Turn right down, turn right, turn left. Turn right, turn left. Turn right, turn left. Between the uppercase between line number 1 and line number 3. And the lowercase between line number 2 and line number 3, and the same. This is like snake. Yes, snake. Okay. After letter S, letter T. T. Okay, how can I write letter T? Sound T, T, T. Okay, from the big dot, line number 1, down, 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 down to line number 3, and make a sleepy line on line number 1. That's the uppercase of sound T. The lowercase of sound another, the big dot from line number 1 to line number 3, and make a sleepy line. Okay, and make a sleepy line on line number 2, like this. Okay, T, T, T. After letter T, letter U. U. How can I write letter U sound? How can I write this letter? From line number 1 to line number 3, down, 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 curve, up again to line number 1. This is sound. Okay, the lower case of sound. Between line number 2 and line number 3, down, 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 curve, up again, down again, and make a sleepy line, and so make a tail. Okay? Sound. Okay? After letter U, letter V. Letter V, sound of V. Make a vibration. Okay, how can I write sound? From line number 1 to line number 3, make a standing line down and standing line up. So easy, KD, okay? This is the upper case of sound, and the lower case of sound, that is the same, but between line number 2 and line number 3. Standing line down, standing line up. This is the upper case and the lower case of sound, okay? After letter V, letter W. How can I write letter W? Okay. The uppercase of letter W sound wah, wah, wah. Okay. Standing line down, standing line up, standing line down again, standing line up again. Just enough? Oh, like and another yes? Okay, this is the uppercase of sound wah. The lower case of sound wah, between line number 2 and line number 3, standing line down, standing line up, standing line down again, standing line up again. Wah, that's the upper case and lower case of sound wah, wah. Okay, after letter W, letter X. X, sound of X, 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 x. How can I write letter X? From line number 1 to line number 3, standing line down and standing line down again to make a cross. To make a cross, okay? Standing line down and standing line down again to make a cross. Okay, this is the upper case from line number 1 to line number 3. The lower case between line number 2 and line number 3, like this. Standing line down again to make a cross. Okay, that's x sound. X, x. After letter X, letter Y. Letter Y sound yeah, yeah, yeah. How can I write sound yeah? Standing line down, standing line up between line number 1 and 2. Okay, and standing line down between number 2 and line number 3, like this. Okay, Y, the upper case of sound. Yeah, yeah. The lower case of sound, yeah. Between line number 2 and line number 3, down, 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 make a curve, up again, down, down, down to line number 4 and make a curve. Okay, that's yeah, yeah. Upper and lower case of sound, yeah. The ending sound, letter Z sound, z, yee, z, yee. Okay, how can I write letter Z? On line number 1, make a sleepy line. Slending line down, down, down to line number 3 and make a sleepy line again. Okay? That is the upper case of sound. Z. Okay? The lower case of sound. Z. Between line number 2 and line number 3. Okay? Standing line, sleepy line on line number 2. Standing line down, down to line number 3 and make a sleepy line again on line number 3. Okay? See you. Bye.